Greetings. This is Priscilla Mokolo with the student number 223469025. This is my assignment number 3 under the module PVTP400, and I'm an electrical engineering in service candidate TVET lecturer at Mobani TVET College based in Palabura, Sefal Duncan campus in Langahali Township. In my presentation, I'm going to outline and talk more about NCV, which is the National Certificate Vocational Qualification in TVET colleges. This is a new and modern qualification offered at FETs, or they're now called TVET colleges, since January 2007. This program is offered at level 2, 3, and 4, which is equivalent to grade 10, 11, and 12. So this qualification, basically it's equal to grade standard uh, 8, 9, 10, which is now called grade 10, 11, and 12. It is one of the high skills, quality, and knowledge programs that provide experience of the workplace experience and is intended to directly respond to the priority skills demand of the modern economy. This qualification also provides an opportunity to enter higher qualification studies subject to appropriate subject combination. So this means that when you are done with the qualification, you can now be registered at higher institutions like universities, uh, since you will be having your full complete matric certificate uh, at level 2, 3, 4. What do you need to get the qualification or to be enrolled in colleges for you uh, to study the qualification? You will only need the minimum requirements for this qualification is a grade 9 or equivalent qualification. Equivalent qualification meaning that you only need, you can be from the college where you accumulated N1 and N2, then you can enter into NCV level 2, 3, 4. Remember also N1 is also equivalent to grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. So any relevant qualification, or maybe you were studying at a college where you were doing the technical subject, then you can be able to be enrolled in under this qualification. The duration, it is offered within the period of 3 years at level 2, 3, and 4, which means that you only need a year to complete a certain level, either 2, 3, or 4. Each of these levels takes a full year of study. A student is issued a certificate on the successful completion of each level. So this means that once you're done with level 2, you will get a certificate, and once you're done with level 3 as well, you get a certificate, and also level 4. This is a certificate, a successful complete, to show that you have successfully completed the qualification. NCV has different fields like the engineering studies, the business studies, and the uh, the general studies. So I'm going to talk more about the electrical infrastructure and construction under the engineering studies. A student is required to take 7 modules, or what we call the subjects, for each level. We have in each level, those 7 subjects, they are divided into 2. We have the fundamental subject and also the vocational subject. The fundamental subject, they are common to every field. If you're doing business studies, you do fundamental subjects as well, which are the language, life orientation, and mathematics or mathematical literacy. You choose between if you want to do mathematics or mathematical literacy. And four vocational subjects under every field, respective according to the fields. The vocational subject under electrical infrastructure and construction, they are electrical principle and practice, workshop practice, electrical system and construction, and electronic control and digital electronics. How are they linked together? You need to study, I've started with the subject electrical principle and practice because that's where you learn the principle and practical procedures that you need to follow when you will be going to the workplace or the workshop where you will be working. So with it is correlated to the workshop practice because with the workshop practice module or subject, that's where you'll be learning about different uh, safety procedures there. Now you're going to apply those procedures in this module because you'll be getting a chance to go to the workshop at your campus. You'll be getting an opportunity to go to the sites where you'll be learning more and practicing what you have learned in class. So we also have another subject which we call the electrical system and construction. Under electrical system and construction, that's where you learn more about the diagrams, the wiring diagrams, the circuit diagrams. Now you are taking those procedures, putting them into place to help you build these circuit diagrams. For example, if you are going to wire a house, obviously you do it on a panel. You need to have tools. Where do you learn these tools? You learn them in workshop practice. Okay, you need to take precautionary measures. You need to take you need to practice what you have learned. So the two subjects they are in line with the electrical system and construction. And lastly, we have electronic control and digital electronics. In most cases, this is the longest word for this subject. So we normally call it ECDE. And in this subject, that's where you will be learning more about the this one I can say it's more of light current because you're learning about small components where you will be wiring circuit diagrams using small components. Yeah, I can say that this is how this subject they are correlated to one another. And now, in my next slide, I'll be talking about the electrical workshop practice, which is the workshop practice in most cases. The purpose of this subject in my discipline is that it introduces students to the work environment and its tools, equipment, workshop and work environment, safety regulation, policies and procedures applicable to health and safety and industry standards and systems. The content of this subject was revised to address gaps and shortcomings in the first version of the curriculum. Workshop practice will equip students with the necessary hand skills, basic knowledge of the health and safety policies and procedures, and workplace policies and procedures. Now we're getting the knowledge about the worksite procedures, the safety regulations. What is it that it is expected of me to do when I'm in the workplace or the work environment? The policies that I need to learn and follow. Now it is when you are learning about the Occupational Health and Safety Acts. There's a lot of acts there. That's where you're learning more about these rules and policies and procedures that are applicable to your health and safety. Remember, when working with electricity, this is dangerous um, thing to work on. Anytime there can be fatalities or serious injuries. So you need to always be safe. You need to always be in line with the safety procedures that you don't get hurt or die or hurt or damage the equipment. So we need to prevent those things. That's why you learn more about these rules so that you can be able to be safe at all times. um, the topics covered in this module, we have topic 1 up to 7, and these topics I've named them accordingly, which are safety regulations for topic 1, first aid is topic 2, topic 3, engineering hand tools, topic 4, engineering power tools, engineering measuring equipment for topic 5, topic 6, worksite procedures and lifting techniques, topic 7, soldering. As you can see, the first topic, you're learning about safety and regulations before anything else. So what I love more about this subject is that it teaches you, you don't have to go to the workplace without knowing what to do, without protecting yourself. So it teaches you the safety part of how to behave, what to do when somebody is injured. As you can see in the next topic, it's talking about first aid. You need to apply first aid when you are having casualties. So this is more about how these topics they relate with one another, they link to one another. So when you talk of engineering hand tools and you engage yourself with them, next topic you're going to talk about engineering power tools, the tools that use power, that use electricity, and engineering measuring equipment. You need to know this. Like in electricity, we are learning more about circuit diagrams. When wiring, you have to measure, so you have to learn more about this measuring equipment and be familiar with them, so that when you go to work, you need to select the correct tools, you need to select the correct measuring equipment for you to be able to work with. um, that is how the topics they are covered in the module. And the duration time, this is a 1 year instructional program comprising 200 teaching and learning hours. The subject may be offered on a part-time basis provided the student meets all the assessment requirements. This means that, okay, the duration for the course is 1 year period, but it might happen that a student might fail the module and also fail supplementary, or even not, they might not even have the requirements to enter for supplementary. So what we do, or what the policy states here, is that the student can be offered this subject on a part-time basis. They are going to do what we call the distance learning. They learn from home, but they don't come to school as like full-time students as they come to school every day. And provided the student has failed the previous year, you cannot start by doing part-time whereas you are new to the qualification. So you first need to complete the year. If you fail, that's when you can be enrolled on part-time basis. Students with special education needs must be catered for in a way that eliminates barriers for learning. Okay, this one, it's just what the lecturer needs to do for such students to cater that they are not left behind, because some of the students, they have their own disabilities that you might find a student wants to study this course, but because of some of the things that you pick up, or even at the college, we having the student support system where they go there and fill up forms. If they are having certain disabilities, then we accommodate such students. Under this module, we're having the following assessment to be completed for you to qualify for this module. We're having 2 written assessment, which we call them tests. to assess assignment. It can be practical or written assignment or online. The assignment, if it is a written assignment, it doesn't have to be just like an open book assignment where a student will go and copy. You need to make it more practical, that the student cannot just get free marks just like that. You need to challenge the student to check their ability, that they did what they've learned in the subject, so that they cannot just go and copy, because it's theory. It doesn't have any calculations in this module. So it's more of theory. So you need to do or prepare your assignment in such a way that it will challenge the student uh, to check their ability. Or these days where they've introduced the online assignment, where the students do their work online. Hence, we are moving forward with the online teaching. And then again, we have another task, which is internal examination. This one, it is written at school, um, before prior the final examination. And this one, it's more of like similar to the final examination, but it's done internally. It is the examiners, they are from within the colleges. Then again, we have the ISET. This is the major practical from the department, where the student will need to do this practical. It stands on its own, unlike the practical assignment. The practical assignment, according to ICAS, you are going to add them with the two written assessments and also the internal examination. Yeah, so with this assessment, you will add them to get the average of 50%. And then again, we have what we call the external examination. The ISET and the external examination, they are the assessments that are from outside, from DHEAD. They are being prepared by DHEAD. So we conduct those assignments, and they stand on their own. ISET marks is for its ISET marks, and then we finally have the external examination. Um, yeah, that's all I can say about the module. Going forth to the next slide, I would like to talk about the following points that align with the qualification. Firstly, picking it up from the module, I will talk more about the personal protective equipment. Why do I want to talk about personal protective equipment? I'm talking about this equipment because they are the equipment to help protect the the materials, help protect the people. um, Under this personal protective equipment, uh, we have the work suits, the clothes that the student must know, that when entering the field work, when entering the workshop, I have to wear this work suits. I don't just go in with my jeans or my skirt or whatever. I don't just go with any other clothes, but except for the work suits. And also, they are the safety helmets. They need to know the safety boots. You cannot just go with your normal shoes. You have to wear the safety boots, not just any boots, but safety boots. When welding, you have to wear the the safety goggles. So these are the personal protective equipment. They are the equipment that protects you, the environment, and also the equipment from accidents or from injuries, from fatalities. These are the equipment you're going to use to protect yourself in order to keep safe at all times. And then again, I would like to talk about first aid concept. Why am I talking about this? It's because the student need to learn more about the first aid. What do I have to do in terms of in difficult times, when there is danger, when somebody's hurt? when I'm hurt. So they need to know what to do. Hence, we're not doctors, but we need to learn certain concept that can keep the the, 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 um, the person who's injured at that time, that they can keep them safe while we are calling for emergency. So this is the first aid that the student needs to perform when we are having a casualty. Another point is selection of hand tools and power tools. In this point, it's quite more interesting because once the students get to the workshop, they must be hands on. What are they going to use to work? They need to know how to identify those tools. They need to know how to use those tools. They also need to know how to take care of the tools, because if you don't take care of your tools, they won't last you long. You will keep on buying tools. So we are also teaching them to take care of these tools so that they can be able to use them for a longer period, so that they don't just get damaged time and again and then we have to go buy tools. If you are owning a company and your company, the workers, they're always breaking the tools, the equipment, the machines, then it means you are going to buy it, most of the time. That, so we're trying to prevent that it doesn't be a loss to the company, but the company should be um, having more profit than loss. So what we teach them is how to identify the tools, to select them, to work with them, and to also care for them. So we're having hand tools, which the ones that you use with your hands, and also the power tools, the ones that use electricity. And you need to be more careful when using them, because electricity can be a danger to the society. Another safety sign um, is another point is the safety sign and color coding. When as electricians, you don't have to be colorblind. You have to know your colors. You have to know how to select your colors for the conductors, because for example, this is the most important point, because for example, if I'm wiring a house, it might happen that after 5 years I'm not the one who's going to do maintenance to the house. So if there's a fault in that house, when the next electrician comes in, they must know that, okay, according to the standard color coding, we have the live, neutral, and the earth. In a normal single phase, in a normal house, we wire using single phase. So for live, it has to be red. For neutral, it has to be black, and for earth, it has to be either a bare copper wire or a green and yellow. So if it happens that with your neutral you stopped and then you wired with a red, then how am I going to know that that is neutral and that is? So if I'm working on live, then if I'm working on live, I mean, like, I did not switch on the main supply because I want to check where the fault is using my tester. So if I'm working on live, you that can endanger me. That can put me in danger um of of the carelessness of color coding. So color coding is also important, and also the safety signs, like just like the road signs. When you are driving on the road, there are signs alongside the road to direct you that if the road is ending, if there are not no signs, then it means there can be more accidents. Just like the electricians, we are trying to limit those accidents by putting on safety signs, so that the electricians can know when working in a workplace. They can know which places are they entering and what type of a place is that one, so that they can limit the or to prevent the accident in the workplace. And then lastly, I will talk about soldering techniques. This is the last part of the module. I've spoken about um, the module for ECDE, and I said it's more on the light current side because it's talking about the small components. For soldering, on variables, you will need to solder to join metal parts together. So the students, they will also be soldering in that module. So this is basically they are learning from this module and then transferring it to the next module as well. So all of these points, though I cannot talk about all the points, but these selected points, they are helping us to better our ways when working in the workshops, when working in the working environment. They help us to and build us to be better people, because if we can remember, long ago people were just employed, go straight to work, start working without knowing how does this machine works, how do I pick up tools. They learned all those things at work, and they don't even know if they have to take care of them. They don't know anything about housekeeping. When I'm done working, I must clean the surface area, I must put my tools back to the toolbox, and all those things they didn't know. So this module is helping a candidate to be a better electrician in future, so that when they go to the workplace, they are able to practice those what they have learned, and in a safer way. So this is all about workshop practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you.